Hey there. If you're a small jewelry business owner trying to wrap your head around this whole sustainability thing, well, you've come to exactly the right place. We're going to break down an amazing toolkit designed just for people like you. Let's dive in.
So, let's just start with a big, important question. When you look at those beautiful materials you work with, the gold, the gems, the diamonds, can you really trace their journey from the very beginning all the way to your workshop? Because that's a question your customers are definitely starting to ask.
The thing is, the path from a mine to the market is, well, it's incredibly complicated. And when you can't see the whole picture, some serious issues can hide in the shadows. We're talking about things like child labor, using gems to fund conflicts, or causing major damage to the environment. And these aren't just some far-off problems. They are direct risks to your business and your reputation.
And that, right there, is the heart of the challenge for any modern jeweler. It doesn't matter if you're a huge brand or a one-person shop. How do you make sure you're doing the right thing when the global supply chain is just so tangled?
And when we say risks, we're talking about very real, very human, and environmental costs. You know, things like miners getting sick with diseases like silicosis because of terrible working conditions, or entire forests being wiped out for a new mine. That lack of traceability, that's the real kicker. It makes it so hard to know if your business is accidentally tied to any of these issues.
Okay, so with all these challenges, it can feel a little daunting, right? But what's the path forward? Well, it's not just about dodging risks. It's actually about flipping this whole challenge into a huge advantage for your business. And that's where something called corporate social responsibility, or CSR, comes into play.
So what is CSR, really? Well, to put it simply, it's about choosing to do good. It's a promise, a commitment to run your business in a way that has a positive impact on your people, your community, and of course, the planet. It's really about creating a culture with a purpose.
And this slide, this really nails the difference. Just following the law, that's the absolute bare minimum. It's reactive. You're just doing what you have to. But CSR, that's proactive. It's about getting out ahead of things, actively building trust, making your reputation stronger, and creating real, lasting value for your business.
And here's the bottom line. This isn't just about charity work. It is smart business. A real commitment to CSR means you'll have more motivated employees, you'll manage risks better, and, this is a big one, you'll build trust with customers who care more and more about where their stuff comes from. This is how you build a business that's meant to last. Okay, that all sounds fantastic in theory, but how do you actually do it? Especially when you're running a small business. Well, the great news is you don't have to boil the ocean all at once. Let's walk through a really practical 4-step plan.
Here it is, your roadmap. Prepare, create, incorporate, and review. See? This whole framework breaks it down into chunks you can actually manage. You can start small and then build on it over time. It's all about continuous improvement.
Let's talk step 1, preparation. And I promise, this is way less scary than it sounds. Just think of it like taking inventory of what you're already doing, right? Maybe you already have a great recycling program, or you've built a really strong, trusting relationship with your main supplier. The first step is just to get all that down on paper.
All right, step 2 is where you make it official. Your CSR policy is where you put your intentions out there for everyone to see. It's a public statement about your values, and it's not just for your customers. It's a guide for your team and a clear message to your suppliers about what you stand for. But a policy is just words on paper if you don't act on it, isn't it? So how do you actually close that gap between what you say you'll do and what you do every single day? Well, that leads us right into the really crucial 3rd step. You do it with an action plan. This is where the rubber meets the road. You get specific. Like you can see here on the slide, you identify a problem. Say, I don't know enough about where my materials come from, and then you list out concrete actions with clear deadlines. This turns your big idea into a real plan.
And finally, step 4. This is so important. This is not a set it and forget it kind of deal. A good CSR program is alive. It grows and evolves. You have to check in regularly. Are you hitting your goals? What's working? What could be better? This is how you learn, how you adapt, and how you make your impact even bigger over time.
So, we've got a solid plan for your business. But what's really powerful is when you start to zoom out and see how these individual actions you're taking connect to a much, much bigger picture. The impact you can have goes way beyond your own workshop.
You're actually plugging into a massive global effort, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, set by the United Nations.
These are basically a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity, for people and the planet, tackling everything from poverty to clean water to climate action.
And here's the part that should give you goosebumps. Small and medium-sized businesses, businesses like yours, make up over 90% of all businesses on the entire planet. That means your actions, added up with everyone else's, create a massive wave of change. You are a truly critical part of the solution.
So we've covered the why, the what, and the how. The only thing left to do now is to just get started.
And if you take away just one single thing from all of this, please let it be this. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't feel like you have to be perfect from day one. Nobody is. This whole thing is a journey. The most powerful, most important thing you can possibly do is simply take that first step.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. After everything we've talked about, what's one small, totally manageable step that you can take, maybe even today, to start your own sustainability journey? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.